Hi again. We're in another location doing therapy with Nels. Just going to pan around so you can see where we are this time. Beautiful spot. Look at the orange trees in the background. So this is Marbella, the city of Marbella, and the old town section of the city. And this is called, famous place called Orange Square. You can see why it's called Orange Square. There's all those beautiful orange trees all the way around, full of them. And there's loads of cafes and restaurants. The sun's out. Beautiful sunny day in January. And here's Nels sitting peacefully on the bench, chilling out, waiting for my question, which is, given the location of where we are, the Marbella Old Town, it's all about how much should we, and how much do we, and how much should we hang on to the past, and does that get in the way of growing? What are your feelings on that?
The past is something that trips up the best of us. Hindsight and looking back. So with mindfulness in mind, the reason that on the subject of mindfulness we're told to try and stay in the present as much as possible, in the present moment, there's a very good reason for that. And the reason is that when we dwell in the past, it's depressing, and it depresses us for a variety of reasons. So when we talk about the past, we could be referring to this morning, last night, last week, last month, 10 years ago. Our mind constantly flips from the past back to the future, back to the past and back to the future. But we'll focus on the past for now. So, what trips us up when we think about the past is that we're viewing it from where we are in the present. So how we were last week, 3 months ago, 13 years ago, is not who we are and what we know and what we've learnt now. So we'll look back at events of the past, old relationships, old jobs, places where we used to live, our childhood, it doesn't really matter what it is, and we make judgments and opinions of that based on our present day mindset, and that is the undoing of us. What that does is it locks us into being critical of ourselves, judging ourselves in a harsh way, which makes us feel sad, guilty, remorseful, flat, and just generally not very good at all.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not particularly a healthy thing then to be thinking about the past too much.
Not at all. So dwelling in the past and dwelling in the future, neither of them serve us well. Also, the other reason is because we're safety driven and we're always scanning for perceived threat, even if we start off with a positive thought and feeling, we will eventually go negative because we're scanning for threat. So it's understanding that we have a choice of either being kind to ourselves or being cruel to ourselves, how we're helping or how we're harming. There is a formula, as always, for how we can improve and be more effective in thinking about the past. It's a very specific formula with 3 points.
Yeah.
So whenever we look back at anything from the past, to try to focus on these three things. The first one is, what have I learned from having gone through that experience?
Yeah.
How have I grown from going through that experience? And how can I move forward as a better person from having gone through that experience? And if we can try to apply those three things to whatever we're thinking about in the past, then we're learning and growing and being kind to ourselves. The way that I look at it as a therapist is that it's not about what we should have done or could have done, did do or didn't do. I made a mistake, I've wasted my time, why did I bother? None of that serves us. The only mistake that we can actually make is by dwelling on the past and not learning and growing from it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's really good information in a nutshell for looking forward. So hopefully that will help people that are just can't let go of it. Have you got any leaving message for anybody that's just struggling every day to let go of the past?
Yeah, there are two main points. They're both equally important in no particular order. The first one is that when we're telling the story of the past, or the narrative as we call it, either to ourselves or to other people, is to try to reference how we felt, what the emotional landscape was as we tell our story. So he said this, I felt that. This happened, I felt this. Because if we can reference how we feel about things or how we felt about things, it processes the emotion and it gets it out. And often people are meant to do that. They will describe the situation and who said what to who and what happened. But unless we acknowledge and process the feelings and emotions, the thought doesn't go away, and so it haunts us and we keep remembering it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And the other thing, aside of the feelings and the emotions, is to, sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought. So, processing the feelings and emotions about the past and being really kind when we remember, and the vital thing is to keep the focus on us. So rather than trying to second guess what someone else was thinking or doing, or why they ended the relationship, or why they chose not to ring us back, or whatever it is that we're trying to figure out, understanding that we often ask questions that we don't possibly know the answer to. So keeping the focus on our experience of what we can control and how we felt about it, rather than trying to second guess what was going on in the minds and hearts of other people.
Okay. Great. Brilliant. Okay. Well, we'll sign off there from Orange Square, and we'll see you on the next video.